Hello friends, and welcome to the Travel Gene. This is the very first installment of a future travel journey that we're going to be making together with you, our subscribers. And I just want to fill you in with a few hints and tips and things we've learned along the way. And I hope that you're going to join us on this exciting adventure. It's going to be about a month long of travel, education, learning about geography, culture, language, and so forth. So it promises to be a very exciting, enjoyable journey, and I hope that you'll join us and learn with us as we move along. It's my wife and my child and myself. We will be traveling. We'll be leaving on the 21st of this month, so 5 days and counting, and we will keep you up to date as we move along. So we're playing a game as we go through this, try and make it a little bit enjoyable, and that is. It's up to you, the subscribers, to participate and to find out exactly where it is we're traveling. We've given a couple of hints throughout the videos that I've been posting and that my wife has been posting. And those videos include small hints such as we're heading east. We're heading east from where we are. Of course, east could be coming back to where we are, given if we look at it at a global scale, right? Because east never ends, does it? Or west never ends either. So, but we are eastward bound, okay? We are eastward bound. We will be traveling to 3 different countries. Unfortunately, the first country we'll only spend 1 night in due to time constraints. This is the last year that we'll be able to take our child from school for educational purposes without a medical certificate, which is also quite unfortunate because I think that personally that travel is one of the best forms of education that anybody could receive or anybody can experience. It's experiential knowledge, right? So it'll be the last year that we'll be able to share that and to do that. But we will keep traveling. We will keep traveling. That is certain. That is certain. And you know, as our channel expands and we have more subscribers, it'll give us greater liberty to travel further and further, to discover new climes and to share them with you. Some people are unable to, for one reason or another, unable to travel, and we hope that by sharing our adventures with you, you're able to travel and experience things through us as well. So we will be, as I mentioned, we'll be traveling to 3 different countries, and it's up to you to find out where. We've shown you some currency. Is it from the country? Is it not from the country? It's a good hint, solid hint. We've shown you some medications that are involved in, that we're going to take with us in order to, you know, have a safe trip, a safe and healthy trip. And that should also give you a few clues as well. We're interspersing clues as we move along through here. Those who are very sharp, and there are a number of you who are very, very sharp, who may pick it up very quickly. So we're going to ask you, which 3 countries are we traveling to? Which 3 countries are we traveling to? Make your guesses, make your best guess, and post them underneath. I also encourage those subscribers who are here to adhere also to my wife's channel, my wife's vlog, even though it's in Armenian language or Russian language, which you may or may not speak or understand. You can look at the subtitles, especially if you're on an Android telephone or an Apple phone, an iOS. So be sure to check her vlog out. It's Leanna Welch Vlog, which is my family name. And this channel we are proposing in English. We can respond in English, French, Russian, Armenian, German, Spanish, Italian, and all those languages. We can respond, and German, and we can respond to all of you should you pose any questions. Okay, should you have any questions or concerns. Okay, so stick with us here on the Travel Gene. We promise you a lot of exciting future adventures, and we'll be posting on a regular basis as much as humanly possible given the amount of work that we have. Okay, so thank you, and this is just the introduction to our forthcoming trip. Okay, so continuing with our preparations here, I just wanted to go over a few of the things as to where we are headed. So you've got some different currency here. Have a quick look at the currency. I don't want to give you too much time to focus on that. Kind of a guessing game, kind of a fun game to see where we're actually headed, okay? So we'll be traveling to 3 different countries. 1 country we'll spend a single day in. Unfortunately, we just don't have the time for that, given Alexander's schooling. And we are taking a little extended break beyond the schooling, so it's for his education, my little 4-year-old son. And so we'll be going to one place overnight, and then we'll be traveling on to another country for 5 days, a period of 5 days only, unfortunately. Again, we'd love to extend this even further, and hopefully in the future, as we develop and we get more followers and more people subscribing to our channel, we'll be able to do that. And then hopefully we'll be able to just flourish and be able to live from that and to share our experiences with you, our followers. And finally, we'll be spending almost a month, 3 weeks to a month in another country, yet another country. Okay, so the clues we've given you so far have been that we're heading east. We're going to 3 different countries. You have to find them. You have to look at the currency and all the tips and hints that were being placed. Going on here as we prepare ourselves for a long journey. We're going to be taking a month's journey, a journey of discovery, a journey of nature and wildlife. It's going to be very interesting. I've given you a couple of clues, so be sure to get in there and guess where exactly it is we're headed. So we've got all the paperwork done here, as you can see. And most of this has to do with various visas that we're going to require. It has to do with booking various accommodation, and of course the travel tickets, for the different flights that we're going to be taking. We'll also boat, hopefully. So that should give you another hint. That'll be your third hint on top of the currency and the currency hint and the travel geographical direction hint that I gave you earlier. Okay, so stick with us here on Travel Journey. We promise you're going to have some very exciting footage coming up, and it should be interesting for most people who have or have not visited this particular area. And one of the other things that I forgot to mention that we do, which is really important, is we photograph everything that we're taking with us, particularly for our travel insurance. We took a travel insurance. I recommend that you do as well. Travel insurance is a helpful thing, and be sure to shop around because there are significant differences in the offerings. We actually went through my bank, my local bank, Belfius Bank, and they offered us a very good deal on the travel. So it's a regular, but when you go to these specialized travel agencies, sometimes they can be very expensive and they offer less quality for value, less value for quantity. Okay, so you can get a better deal oftentimes by going directly through your bank if they also have an insurance policy. Okay, so be sure to photograph any of these, like your camera, your phone, and so on, and try and get an estimated value. You can go online and get an estimated value for those out and keep them with you just in case you have to make an insurance claim, okay? So something to bear in mind, something very useful, okay? And the advantage of traveling light is if you don't take very many expensive things, keep your expensive things with you, like your cameras and so forth, you keep them in your carry bag, then you don't have to worry about losing them, okay? Normally, if you're traveling to rather less developed areas, you want to make sure that you're not carrying valuables in your baggage. Okay, a few more hints and tips that will facilitate your travels eventually in the future. We like to break things down into small, easily carried bags. We have some of these which were from Etihad. They're beautiful Acqua di Parma. It's an Italian cosmetics firm, and they're leather pouches that we can use to carry various items inside. So we always take those when we fly. That's normally given out when you fly business class. So we took those with us because we thought they might be useful, and indeed they are. We like to break things down to small, easy, manageable compartments, and we like to travel light. Traveling light is the key to having a successful journey, particularly if you go to a warm weather climate. Hint number 3. Yeah, hint number 3. Okay, so that's hint number 3, where we're heading. We also have to make sure that we've got all the electronic stuff that we need for photographing, for registering our film. And this will be also an educational trip for Alexander. Little Alexander is going to be learning about some new and different cultures, languages, some geographical spaces, and some various flora and fauna. See, we're starting to lay things out here. We're going to need a rain poncho. We're going to need a couple of rain ponchos. We need some lightweight but rugged clothing, some sun caps. An interesting thing that we have, and I haven't covered this previously, but it's very, very interesting, very fascinating piece of equipment. We have this chest harness. This is a chest harness which is used for strapping. As you can see, it'll strap over the shoulders, and it sits on the chest. And we have an apparatus which holds the telephone, the cell phone, within the clamp, and the clamp attaches directly onto this unit here, as you can see here. And so when we're climbing, or when we're in the mountains or something, we have our hands free in order to climb and to pull onto different things. So we'll have hands-free availability, which is very clever. So this was an item that was purchased through Temu, which is an online service, and I highly recommend it. We will do a separate video on this to show you exactly how it goes together and how it works. One of the other items that I've purchased recently is a telescopic tripod. And the tripod is necessary for taking still photography. It comes in a beautiful, this was purchased through Temu as well. And this is a really nice, sturdy tripod. Let me just get it out here so we can review it. Okay, so here we go. So it's got a handy little lever here to move it, to rotate it. You've got a rotating switch here, which will allow you to flip this unit up, the base unit here. And from here, we can attach a nice cell phone apparatus. I'm using this for my still photography, for my camera, but you can see that you can also attach a cell phone holder here in place. Okay, so it can be used for the cell phone as easily as it can be used for a regular digital camera. Okay, so a very sturdy construction. It's got nice little sponge holding here. There's a hook underneath for hanging things, for hanging items, for example. It has a rotating base, which is very good for if you're on uneven terrain. And a really interesting feature here that I hadn't noticed previously is this level. It has a level so that your images are stabilized, okay? And there's a locking mechanism here for raising the base unit. And there's a swing handle over here, which allows us to raise and lower. Let me open that a bit, to raise and lower the stand, the support. We also have another knob here. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but I'll figure it out afterward and I'll let you know. Okay, as we travel, we'll be able to do, okay, I guess that locks the rotation. That locks the rotation, so it reduces the rotation. This is for the tilt. It can tilt up and down. So you've got multifunction, and it comes with a nice carrying bag. So very interesting, very worthwhile purchase. I'll give you the price a little later once I finish this particular video. We have our backpacks, and I highly recommend these backpacks. We purchased these in Abu Dhabi in a sporting goods shop. We probably paid more than we should have, but that's fine. These are Jack Wolfskin, which is a very good mark. It holds, I think they said 30 liters, 40 liters, something like that. In any event, it also has a tracking, radar tracking in case you lose your backpack as well. Advanced rescue technology in case you're lost in the mountains or something like that. So very handy and very nice. It's called the Rico Pack. The Rico Pack from Jack Wolfskin. Advanced rescue technology. Pretty cool stuff, right? And we have the side pockets, which are largely useless, I find. But still, we could fit something light in the sides there. Okay, so that's a brief overview. We do have a packing list. We do have a packing list which we've developed from various resources. And our packing list is up there, and whatever is in yellow we still need. Whatever is in green has been completed. We also have packed up all the various hotel information, and so another hint, hotel information, flight information, booking arrangements, The flight information is held in this little envelope. If you don't have one of these, I would highly recommend it. They're sort of vinyl, and they protect your travel documents. Now, another hint, another tip that I would provide is, before you go, be sure to photograph all your credit cards, your passports, and make photocopies of those, and keep those in a separate area just in case they're lost or unfortunately and hopefully not stolen. And be sure to split your currency. We are taking a currency bag with us. I have an old one, but it does the job. It serves a purpose. It's an older currency safety bag that goes around the neck. It can also go through the belt as well, which is an added security feature. It has several different pockets, and it has a side pocket for cash, which is always helpful. So that's today's review, okay? And thank you very much, and stick with us. We'll be coming back to you with further information. We have 6 days and counting, maybe even 5 days. I'm not sure, 5 days. And a lot of stuff to do in the meantime. We've got to put our car up and into a safe position and make sure that it's covered before we go. We got a lot of things that we need to get prepared. We need to have backup memory units and so forth. So stick with us and trip. And I want to share with you some of the medicational side of things that we take along with us when we prepare for the trip that might prove useful to you. This is especially true if you're traveling to a third world country somewhere in South America, Africa, or Asia. So we have Gastrolite, which is electrolytes in powder form, which help to reestablish a homeostasis of the body. Should you fall ill, it includes things like magnesium, selenium, or salts, and sugars, various sugars. So it's a very useful powder to have to reestablish the body following extensive diarrhea or vomiting, nausea, for example. We also have paracetamol, and everybody knows what paracetamol is, right? It's the softer form of aspirin. We have lip balm, which is useful, particularly in hot climates, in order to avoid chapping of the lips. And we have cocoline, which is a sort of Dramamine or motion sickness medication, which is also useful should you run into high waves on a ship or something like this, or if somebody falls ill due to motion sickness. Over here, we've taken a sports bag, which was originally from Puma, the Puma sports mark, and it's got this silver lining, which helps to keep things from excessive heat or excessive cold, for example, to keep them balanced. We have an injector pen for medication. We have one-step callus removers. Not that that's really necessary. We also have ibuprofen as a backup to the paracetamol. So we took some ibuprofen as well. We have Defalgon in children's liquid form, since we have a small child, and we'll be taking that with us. And down here in the bottom, we have nose drops in case of nasal passage blockage. We've taken a few antibiotics that we had at home in the event that we need them. We also have some Classic Fix tape in case of sprains or damage, injuries. We have some plasters or Band-Aids, if you would. And we also have Buscopan, which is for the upset stomach, should anybody have food poisoning or something like that. We have a few wipes, a few sanitary wipes, which are very helpful. We also took isobetadine for cleaning wounds, and we also have some, let me see what we have here. We have insect biting gels, so that if there's an insect bite, we can apply this gel to stop the itching and the bite. It's sort of bite medications, okay? We have 2 of those, 2 tubes of those, and we have Hiradoid, which is very good for bruising, okay? What else do we have in here? Okay, we have the Buscopan. We have the antibiotics, generic antibiotics, which is Clavodar, which is amoxicillin, which is a generic name for amoxicillin. We have on stick-on patches against mosquitoes. We also have underneath the, we have sanitary wipes here for alcohol wipes, alcohol swabs in case of injury. And what is in there? Oh, yes, we also have powdered aspirin. Okay, we have some powdered aspirin for quick absorption in the body. So, and I'm not exactly sure. Speedofen for pain. Okay, we also have suppositories for the baby or for us, and we have the high level DEET insecticide, which is also very useful if you have, especially if you're traveling in a tropical climate. So there's hint number 2, folks. Hint number 2, you've received it. We also have this thing, which is for sore throats, and it's called Anginovag. Anginovag, which is a throat spray in the event of any type of throat injury or throat damage, to help soothe the throat from coughing. Okay, so that looks like a whole lot of medication, doesn't it? But better to be safe than sorry. And it compacts nicely into this. And you can see, looking at my hand, you can see that it's not that big a thing. We're going to put this on the bottom of the backpack just in case we need that during the travels. Okay, so it's better, as I said, it's better to be safe than sorry. We have everything that we need here medicine-wise. For any other type of intervention, then we would go to either a pharmacy or a physician or a clinic or a hospital, God forbidding that anything worse should eventually occur or should come to pass. Okay, so that gives you a nice layout, a nice idea of all the different types of medication, all the different types of intervention that you're going to need while traveling, should you require them, okay? And you can see that all of that fits neatly within the confines of this small carry bag. Very useful, okay? And there you have it, okay? So that's just one small video to help you understand what the basic necessities are as far as traveling, particularly in a tropical climate. Okay, I hope this will prove useful to you, and we'll be developing more ideas and hints and tips as we move along toward the final destination. Okay, so here we have a selection of different materials that I use to do my drawings when I'm traveling. From left to right, we have a Moleskine, which is a travel journal. This could be any type of travel journal, actually, for doing pen and ink, but you want blank pages, basically. Okay, the next one are Staedtler. It's a 5-set Staedtler group of pens. And next to that, we have the Winsor & Newtons ranging from 0.1 to 0.3 to 0.5. Next to these is the upper end of the scale if you're talking about drawing, and you've got your Rotring. Rotring are technical pens. And you can see here that we've got a 03, 05, and 07 in dimensions. And those are pretty interesting. And then next to that is a very useful tool that I find adds a really new dimension to your drawing and to your sketches. And those are Faber-Castell Aquarelle pencils. And what this means is that these are basically your typical drawing pencils, color pencils, with the advantage of you can blur the colors by adding water to them. So when you color in, make sure if you're using a degrading shading technique, you can take a little glass of water and you can just dip your finger in it and spread that to soften the effect. This is especially good when you're using, when you're doing sky, or you're doing jungle, or you're doing sand, for example. You can blend and degrade quite easily using the water. Okay, so here's a page out of one of my journals. To give you an idea, what I put in here basically is I tell the exchange rate at the time. I tell the price of gasoline if I'm traveling by car or petrol. I also do small color drawings, and you can see here I've used those pencils to color in my things. And you'll note that the writing is vertical as opposed to standard horizontal. I just found this an interesting little way to write in my journals. This is probably my 10th journal, my 10th travel journal, and I have them in all sizes and shapes. And one of the interesting things that I do as well, which I may or may not have here, you can see some new pages, I do full sketches as well. This is a Moleskine, which is a nice little foldable book. Here you have a seaside in Latvia, obviously, in Latvia, and I write about my thoughts, what's going on in my mind, and so forth. I also collect beer stickers, which I find always very interesting as far as artwork is concerned. I keep the hotel cards when I go to a hotel, and you can see that you can get quite complex with some of your drawing if you take your time. You have to take your time. Generally, landscapes are easier than people. And don't worry about making mistakes. Mistakes don't matter. This is a kind of naive art. This is on a beach in Latvia. And you can see that I've also got air tickets and so forth in there, postage stamps, a few pen and ink sketches. Now, I haven't studied art on my own. Well, I did when I was younger in Paris, when I lived and worked in Paris. But it's a very useful habit, and you can read books on this, on how to improve your sketching and drawing. But I do use a naive art, whereas I look at things and I don't look at the page when I'm drawing. I actually look away from the page when I'm drawing. This was one of our most recent trips to Marseille. And you can see here, we've got the boat and so forth. And here's my very recent trip to Abu Dhabi, which is being shown now, currently. And here, again, this was in Marseille, I believe. Or it could well have, no, it was probably in Corsica. It was in Corsica. And now what I'm going to be doing next is I also do this on a regular basis. I add the lowest piece of currency. That is the lowest denomination bill that is available in the journal. So this is one of my most recent books. This is the new book for the forthcoming travels. There's also a hint in here so that those who are guessing or playing the game with us, you can see again I've returned to writing up and down, or sometimes I will actually write in a circle. I'll write in a circle, or I'll change the way that I'm writing just out of interest, just out to make it a little bit more interesting. I don't want to spend too much time on that because I'll be giving the show away. Now, one of the things that's kind of cool is sometimes I'll, draw a pair of feet or something like that, and I'll use the words to write into the feet. I'll write feet, 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 like that, or a pair of shoes or something, or an object. It helps to change and modify the standard text, which is quite interesting. Okay, so we're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and like the channel. Be sure to subscribe to my wife's channel, her vlog, Leanna Welch vlog, as I mentioned previously. Stick with us and stay tuned as we progress, as the countdown comes closer and closer to our departure date. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it, and we'll keep you up to date as we move along. Thanks, and see you soon.